Alright, here we go. Another special edition live stream. Jay Ellis, CP from Knicks Fan TV. My man Jay Ellis from Nick of Time Show. Special guest Jay Ellis.
Special.
He's an NBA champion, multi-time All-Star, former Knick. Rasheed Wallace. Ball don't lie. Let's
Ball don't
get
lie,
it.
damn it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rasheed Wallace, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming through, man. How you feeling tonight?
Man, no doubt. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me, man. Feeling pretty good, minus this whole COVID-19 thing. And I hope everybody up there in the New York area take this serious and stay safe, man.
Yeah, man. We definitely appreciate you taking the time and, providing a welcome distraction to the people, especially people that's dealing with a lot of heavy stuff on their mind right now. So,
no doubt.
Before we get started, salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. You know the protocol. Tonight's hashtag Jay Ellis, of course. Ball don't lie. So throw a ball don't lie in the chat.
Easy.
To salute Sheed and Jay Ellis. Let's go ahead and kick it off, man.
Yeah, man. All right. So she used with the Boston Celtics in 2009 and 2010, and you ended up retiring. And for some reason, you came back to the Knicks, signed a 1-year deal. Can you remember that conversation you had that lead you to coming out of retirement and joining us?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I had to retire early because my mother fell ill in 2010, right after that Game 7 with LA. So, my Dukes, that's number one. So I just had the Knicks, the whole NBA contract. I left a lot of money on the table, but you only get one My Dukes. Money come and go.
Absolutely.
But I definitely remember, just getting a call from Mike Woodson. And at first, real talk, it was just, to come up and work with the guys during training camp and, to try to push them, coming more from a coach's aspect side of it. But
so he finessed you.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt. I mean, and I was still with it. Because I wanted to play too. So I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna hold you and try to say it was all Mike. But I definitely wanted to play, and it was a chance to play for the Knicks. When I was in high school, I was a Knicks fan because I grew up watching Patrick Ewing. With me being in Philly.
Let's go. Salute to the general, number 33. Of course,
no
of course.
I grew up watching PE in the Big East. And so he's always been, my number one guy. Because I looked at him like, okay, he's tall like me. He's a hell of an athlete. And I always saw him on TV. He's the black guy I always saw on TV every weekend playing basketball. So I was a big PE fan. And, just that team and that grit that they had, you know what I'm saying, with Charles Oakley out there. And then you had D. Harper out there on that wing.
The hand check killer.
It was some grit. Ant Mason. It was grit and grime out there. True story. I loved it. And when Mike hit me with that, I was like, yo, word. I said, all right, no doubt. I'm there with it. I don't mind doing this. This is kind of sort of like a dream come true to play for one of the teams that I grew up watching.
That makes a lot of sense because now I think about it, your game kind of patterns a lot after Ewing with the little turnaround, post-up moves and everything. That makes a lot of sense, actually, now I really, really think about it. How hard was it for you to come back from retirement into getting into the flow of the game?
It wasn't too hard. It wasn't too hard because the determination was there. And that's more than half of it. You have to be determined, you have to want it. And I definitely wanted it. It's just the fact that once I did come back and get into that flow, man, that's when I broke my foot and shit was downhill since.
Yeah.
When you got to MSG, man, I was at this game, Knicks versus Heat, opening night. One of the things I loved about that season was that how we matched up so well with the Heat.
Man.
And that night, the Garden is chanting your name. It's the first game of the season. What do you remember about that MSG moment for you, man?
Oh, just sitting there, the atmosphere, bro. And for the first time being on that side of the benches in MSG, you know what I mean? But it was just the atmosphere. It was so thick, and it's just like everybody was ready. It was an eruption that we were all waiting for. And I'm just sitting there, throughout the game. Hey, the vet, look, young fella, do this, do that. Watch how I'm doing this. Watch how he doing that. Blah blah blah. Just trying to be the old head out the crew. And then we were up, and I'm sitting on the bench, and that's when Woody looked down the bench. He came down and he's like, "Hey, you want to go in?" And I'm gonna be a vet and professional. I'm not gonna stand my man up, even though we already had the game won.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stand my man up like, nah, I'm good. I'm not a prima donna superstar like that or nothing. So I'm like, yeah, for sure, no doubt. Threw off the sweats and everything. The legend was on. Yeah, the legend was on.
Yeah, man. The Garden loves that too, man. The Garden loves the vet that comes in and just he didn't get the minutes, but he makes the most out. Yeah, the Garden loves that stuff. Garden loves that. Yo, okay, so you know what? You gotta tell us something, She, because you had an impact on this team. Melo to this day still does
MVP voting, man.
Yeah, still does the 3 to the dome to this day. To this day. So tell me, where did 3 to the dome come from? Like, what's the origin story?
I mean, it came from practice. It came from practice one day, and we were going back and forth at it, and guys is just talking shit, and hey, I'm better than you, and I mean, it wasn't like personal, just that team camaraderie.
Yeah,
and just just like basic junk talking. So when I'm in practice, I knew it wasn't a lot of plays for me, which was fine. I didn't have a problem with. I knew I was lifted out there on the wing. But you swing that joint my way, I'm gonna put that bitch up. and it was a couple times, hit a couple threes, and it was just 3 to the dome. And the funny thing about it, like in schoolyard ball, we all know what this means. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, all right, when you hold up to 3, you hit a shot, you hold up to 3, and or you just hit a big 3. That's schoolyard, that's trash talk. So that's the same thing that I did. Now, when I was in Boston in 2010, every time I made a 3, I would hold the 3 up and, kind of sort of do the Kirk Gibson and tuck it in, you know what I mean? So when I was up there, I was like, just got to try to do something that's funny and that everybody likes. So I came up with 3 to the dome. Then the few minutes that I did get in some of the games and I made a shot, NBA hit me like, yo, you got to stop doing that. I'm like, what? They like, because they thought it was, 1, a gang sign, and 2, they thought that I was trying to represent, I'm going to shoot you in your head. And I said, nah, I said, what it is, I said, it's no different from dunking on somebody. Right. When you don't want to do, boom, what you do, you all in this grill, right? I said, well, with the 3, it ain't really an emphatic shot or a physical shot. So it's just and I make it like, hey, 3 to the dome. I just hit you with a 3-pointer upside the head. So 3 to the dome. And then after that, after I explained it to them, they was like, all right, they stopped messing with me with it. They thought it was some type of gang signs and all this other stuff. I'm like, nah, I ain't living like that.
We're talking to Rasheed Wallace. Throw that ball, man. Don't lie in the chat. Also a host, J. Ellis, of his own podcast, the Let's Get Technical podcast, featuring Bonji Wells, Rasheed Wallace, and my guy Gerald Brown. So make sure you guys check them out and subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Sheed, you only spent 25 games with this team. Unfortunately, you had hurt your foot, but this was a different team. We've been so used to the Knicks losing, and this team will end up going on and win 54 games. What did you feel like, when you told Woodson you were going to come back, what did you feel like you were going to bring to the team that kind of helped them, get off to that good start and had a good season?
Just basically that big man leadership of being down there in them trenches and working with the young guys. Had a chance to work with Stat, and just working with him and Tyson down there on them blocks and just sharing my knowledge pretty much of the things that I've been through, just trying to help them become better in certain game situations, because we knew that they were going to get all of the minutes. I wasn't tripping on that. I actually was kind of happy with it. So, I wasn't tripping on it too much with them getting all of the minutes. So just look, hey, well, this is what I learned when you're guarding so-and-so. Yeah. Look, he like to do the little shimmy, and he want to shoot it off the glass, or he want to go left for the layup, go right, he going to pull up, whatever. And it was just sharing that knowledge. And that was a pretty good team. And as we were rolling, in my opinion, as we were rolling, I kind of sort of felt like the 90s Knicks. You know what I mean? That was playing them Bulls and playing against them Pacers, you know, just that toughness, because we had a veteran ball club, yo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
the big men were crazy on our
Kurt, shout out my guy Kurt Thomas, man.
Yeah,
we looking for Kurt, man. We trying to get Kurt on the show.
Kenyon,
Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin.
Come on.
Oh man, that was a trip. You know what, man? I felt like you could have really been the equalizer on that Pacers series, man, because we needed somebody to really. Roy Hibbert was just going crazy. And we needed somebody to bring him outside a little bit.
Get him out the paint.
You know, Tyson was a little bit banged up. He had a rough series, but we needed somebody to be that Hibbert equalizer, man. But we glad you got to don the Knicks uniform at least once. But
no doubt, me too.
Yeah, but in 2004, before you got to Detroit, you know, there was some heavy rumors that Isaiah was after you. Your agent Bill Strickland was in the papers, basically saying that you know, that New York was your preference to be traded from Portland. How true were those rumors back then?
Yeah, no, it was true. Because as I said, you know, growing up at the time, that's when the Knicks had made the chip. You had Spree, MC for the first time, LJ. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You had it was a good squad, a good nucleus, and I felt as though that I could have been a good fit for the ruggedness of that team. You know what I'm saying? Playing up there in the Garden in New York at the time. But of course, you know, that was where I wanted to go, and it always doesn't work out like that. So the road that I travel, you know, hey, I ain't bitching about it.
It was a golden road indeed, man. Because
no doubt.
Once you got to Detroit, and you know, I was telling when you got to Detroit, and you know, all the hype was around the Lakers and the super team and Karl Malone, Gary Payton. Yo, I told my homies back then, Jay, I was in high school, I was like, yo, she is the missing piece.
Yeah, it's a
Detroit is gonna see the Lakers in the finals, and they're gonna beat them. When you guys finally, when you guys won that chip, did it mean more to you that you got past the Lakers? Because like your Portland days, they had your number, and it was always Kobe and Shaq getting to you. Like, did you feel like, you know, you finally got them when you won that championship?
I did, to be honest. I felt like it was a huge gorilla off of my back, on both shoulders, to be exactly. You know, it's when I was out there in Portland and we had good Portland teams. You know, we were beating a lot of the dominant East Coast teams. So you saw the promised land. Like, the vision was there. You know, we sitting there, the vision was there, but we just couldn't get by Shaq. At that time, in my opinion, was the best athlete on the planet. Because here you are, 7'2", 7'3", and you're mobile and you're running as fast as you do. And with Kobe, we all know what type of great player Kobe is. Rest in peace, Kobe.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
Yeah, rest in peace.
It was those two. They were my thorn in my side.
For sure.
And when I got to Detroit and I saw that they were building up that team before I got there, you know, you saw the GP join, you know, you saw Mailman join. So now you're like, oh man, like they were already good. Now you're gonna add two more Hawks. Like, damn. So then when I finally did get traded, and it was just the feeling I felt, man, when we was in that locker room after, like, I would say after our maybe third or fourth game we played together, that's when I knew we were going to do something special. And now I'm not going to say I thought we were going to win it, but I knew we were going to do something special because it was just our communication. It's like we were playing for years together. And it's only been a couple of weeks. So, and that made me think, and that put my basketball IQ to a higher plateau in my book by playing with other great guys, where I didn't have to say to you, hey, CP, you make sure that you get down there and block him out and blah, 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 blah. And you didn't have to say to me, hey, She, make sure you block him out, get this route. No,
everybody
it was already there. It was already a unspoken word. And that camaraderie, that brotherhood, once we came together, we did everything together out there in Detroit, man. And that's what I love, because it was just like, for real, I ain't even gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold you. It was just like Portland. In Portland,
that's dope.
yeah, they called us jail blazers, all this other shit, this and that. But we had a family atmosphere. Guys were going over other guys' house. Like I would come over your house to, let's say, watch the fight. You would come over my house for Halloween parties, or another player will have this, but everybody in the family, everybody was interacting. We didn't. That's why we didn't have any problem.
Yeah,
like
chemistry
Detroit,
was
I
seamless.
will have to say,
yeah,
man,
chemistry
Detroit,
was seamless.
We was there. Like I wasn't jealous or nervous or hating on any of those guys. Oh man, he think he this, or even off of the court. Oh man, yeah, he got this. He got a Bentley, or he got a Rolls. He think he that. He think he this. Nah, it wasn't none of that. It was
no egos.
It was all of us as young black men, young black fathers, and that two came together. We just meshed it all as one snowball.
That's dope, man. That's dope. We talking to Rasheed Wallace. Throw that ball, don't lie in the chat to salute Sheed. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Sheed, you had mentioned the late great Kobe Bryant. Do you remember the last conversation you had with him?
I would probably say for me, the last convo or a few words that I share with Kobe was before and or after that Game 7 when I was with Boston. When I came back with the Knicks, it was just more of a high and by. It was a respect level. It wasn't the best where we like always hanging out, but it was a respect level. He knew me, I knew him. He knew my family, I know his family. You know what I mean? And it was a good moment, man. Just looking back at it now, of course, wishing that he was still here. You never want to see a young brother leave his earth too soon, but I think he still could have did a lot for the game of basketball.
Yeah, so terrible and untimely tragedy for sure, man.
Yeah.
There's another member of the Pistons staff. He's currently the GM of the Knicks. And Scott Perry. What was your relationship like with Scott Perry back in those days?
That's my man, SP the Ghost.
I'm telling you, man.
Scott, that's my man. Good dude. He was up under Joe Dumars during that time. He went out and ventured on his own a little bit here and there, and now he's sitting up there in the biggest media circus in the world. And I think Scott's holding it down. He's going to hold it down with his demeanor. He's not going to be over exuberant about trying to make moves and do this and do that. No, he's going to sit back and he's going to assess everything that's in front of him and then make a decision. Scott's a good guy, man. I think that was a good hire by Dolan to bring him aboard. And he's just going to look at it. It's going to take some time, might take a knot or two across the head, but coming from a winning background, that's what it takes to get there.
True story, man. Well, Leon Rose gave him one more year here, so let's see how they gel together in that front office. Go ahead, Jails.
Yeah, for sure. So back in the Detroit days, I know Malice in the Palace happened, and it was kind of nuts. It's crazy because people expect Rasheed Wallace, Jailblazers to be this big, but you was kind of peacemaker in Malice in the Palace. Can you tell us about that day? And just the feel of what happened in the locker room after Malice in the Palace happened?
Well, when it all went down, my thing was like, look, this between Ben and at the time his name was Ron Artest before he changed the meta. But this is between them.
Yeah.
If they gonna square off, all right, they're gonna square off. Ain't nobody else gonna jump in it. It's kind of sort of like street rules. One-on-one. Even if I'm getting my ass beat, don't jump in it. You know what I mean? So with that's how I saw it. But then when all the scuffling and pushing and everything started, and then you had a couple fans that got too excited and came down there on the court and tried to fight and push around some of the players.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. And
seeing, I already knew what it was going to be with my young boys Steve Jack and Ron when they went up into the stands. I already knew what it was going to be, and I went up in the stands more to help the people opposing to them, because for real, if they could have got their hands like they wanted to on some of those people during that situation,
Steve Jackman,
they still be paying for it, yo.
Captain Jack was in there throwing haymakers in the crowd.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They probably would have got banned from the league or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it was a real serious injury to a fan, they probably would have banned them, from the league, like Kermit Washington. So
yeah, true.
I was like, look, let me go up here. And my thing, I was like, I ain't care. My bigger project was to try to just get them, come on, let's go. Let's go back. Yeah, y'all on this opposite team, but y'all still my little brothers.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go back. It's a basketball thing now. So after Ron and Ben, had their little pushing match, I'm like, look, it's us. It's us. We don't need to be up there fighting. Yeah, we can go ahead and handle this thing right here. If they want to scrap, let them scrap.
Yeah.
Let them scrap. Sometimes I wish we could do in basketball what they do in hockey.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Let it 20 seconds, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it was that Malice in the Palace. And then, afterwards in the locker room, guys were just hype and we was like, man, we don't believe this and all this happened. And we were sitting back laughing at a little bit of it, but we knew the seriousness of it from our teammate, because he was going through some things, talking about Ben at that time with his fam and everything, his brother's passing. So, you're emotional.
Yeah.
So, we just looked at the brighter side of it. Once we got in that locker room, we started making our little jokes and this and that to try to get the brighter side of that whole little mischievous event.
Yeah, it's interesting how you bring up, what happened with Ben Wallace. It's that backstory that fans never really know. We just watching it live like, yo, this is the craziest thing I ever seen. But if you kind of peel it back and understand what a player was going through that day, what happened to him that day, you kind of understand, why certain things happened the way it did. But
plus there was already a rivalry between those teams before from last season as well. So it's like everything's coming to a head at the same time.
True story, man.
Fact that.
Your Portland days, man, the Portland teams, that y'all had a squad, man. You had Steve Smith, yourself, Detlef, Mighty Mouse, Damon Stoudemire, Pippen. Obviously that Game 7 with the Lakers was a classic, but that was a tough loss for you guys. Did winning that championship in Detroit, did it take the sting off that game a little bit, or does that game still stick with you just the way that you guys kind of flamed out?
I would say 50-50. It's about a 50-50 thing, because you sit back and look at it. And of course, the NBA loves the Lakers and they play that game all the damn time. But
listen, man, we watch The Last Dance. We know.
It's a 50-50 thing. So like, I look at it as it also helped us as a team and individuals with a stepping stone. And, we had to face that adversity with Kobe and Shaq and that good bench that they had and good backup players that they had. And we had those as well, but, their two superstars was a little bit more liked than our superstars. And, they were the face of the league at the time. To me, Shaq was the face of the league. When you talk about NBA, Shaquille O'Neal, very tall. He's the face of the league.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go. So to get by them, to actually be able to get this one over them, and for me, it was a big one. But for them, it might not have been nothing because they got 4 or 5 already. So
they got.
But for me, it was a big one, and it was relief, man.
Yeah.
To be able to beat that team of you had what, 6 Hall of Famers on that team? I think at least. So for us to beat them, for these 5 guys and this team from Detroit that didn't have no all-stars, that weren't league darlings, they weren't really liked, and not only myself, they weren't really liked by the referees. So for us to beat David Stern's dream team,
that was the reward, right?
Ooh, that was like a trifecta for me that day. Because not only did I win a chip with my brothers, who were also struggling. I got a chance to see David Stern not even want to be up there on that stage to present the MVP
That is
or the Larry O'Brien trophy, and the fact that it was a little bit of, as I said, that pressure release of after getting my ass beat by the Lakers for so many years out in Portland, to be able to finally be on the other side of the pillow for one.
That's dope, man.
Absolutely.
I'm talking to Rasheed Wallace. Throw that ball, don't lie in the chat. Up, salute Sheed. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Sheed, your time in Portland was also quite tumultuous. You mentioned the referees. Obviously, we all know your relationship with the refs. It was no secret. 40-something technicals in the season at some points. You mentioned the whole Jailblazers moniker that they gave you guys and other, personal issues. What do you feel like the life lesson, what do you think that you learned from that time that kind of made you a better person even today?
How business go. Because that's what it's all about, business. It's all about them dollars. Once with me playing in the league, once my vision of, okay, this is my actual job. The game is over. You grow up, high school, young boy in the schoolyards, all that. Okay, you're playing it for the fun of it. But somewhere after your first few years, no matter win or lose, this game is your job. It's not just that game anymore. It's your job now. And so with me looking back and looking over my career at that, I would say that's one of the lessons that I learned early. Because with me coming in the league in 95, here it is, okay, I'm thinking, what, to my knowledge, it didn't happen before. I mean, it happened before, but I didn't know because I was ignorant to the fact of a whole, striking and CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, whatever. But when it happened to us in 98 and that whole 98, 99 season and sitting back looking at it like, yo, this is a business. With all of these sponsors, you got not only your national sponsors for these teams and these players, but your local sponsors. It's commercials that guys film that probably would never have made national, but that's that whole local fever. Yeah. So it's just big business, and that's what I learned early, and that's why I had to treat it that way, treat it as such.
Cool. All right, so Sheed, you had a long career in the NBA. So I would like to know personally, like, who are your toughest matchups? Like, who did you not?
It was a lot of dope big men.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of them.
You had KG, the kid. You had
that's the first that came to my
Duncan.
mind.
You had Chris Webber. You had Shaq, of course. I mean, you name it, man.
Oh, bro, let me tell you. My younger days off the bat, it was Terry Cummings.
Wow. Former Nick. Terry Cummings was Nick at one point.
Man, I couldn't do Nathan with him. Nothing. But learning how to play the game, talking to some vets, I overcame that. But when talking about like my biggest matchups, I would have to say it's 3 dudes during my time when I was playing. In no particular order. It was KG, Big Ticket. It was Big Fundamentals with Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
And J50, Jermaine O'Neal. Those 3 guys,
former teammate.
When I was facing them, I'm going to bed at a reasonable time the night before. I want to make sure that, I'm energized. I can't be half-assing or dragging with these guys. I can't be halfway drunk and trying to play against these guys. No, I'm getting my ass handed to me. Go ahead. I'm turning in early tonight, fellas. Yeah, we go out tomorrow. Or we go out, the next city on a road trip when I got to go against someone who isn't as capable of beating us as these guys are.
Yeah, especially KG, man, because KG will do it and talk so much
And I love it. And I love it. That's what I love. I love the fact that Ticket talk shit. You know, you got to talk shit in this game because that's what we grew up with, man.
Yeah.
You know, you grew up in the schoolyards, no matter, I don't care what hood you from, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, you from Chicago, Oakland, damn, Miami, wherever. You're going to be on that basketball court talking shit.
That's a fact.
True story. True story, man. Now, you also coaching your high school at Jordan High, man, and coaching basketball. How did that end up happening? Like, what got you interested in coaching at the high school level?
Well, I would definitely have to say what got me started with it was my high school coach, and just the father figure that he was to me when I was a young boy. You know, looking for some guidance from that older male figure outside of my brothers. So coming back, like, okay, I like coaching in the NBA. Yeah, that's cool, but it's a different feeling because you're dealing with guys who already got paid. Your dream has already happened with you making the NBA and you're making money. But everybody that's playing in the NBA now ain't trying to win. That's the difference. So with me coaching my high school guys, it just set me back, you know, like looking at it from my coach's viewpoint or standpoint, Bill Ellerby's standpoint, from trying to help these young guys. Not only is it helping with basketball, but life, you know, and to this day, my high school coach, Bill Ellerby, he's one of my mentors, and I still ask him questions about it to this day. And I love coaching my guys out there, Jordan, man. You know, we're not the most talented team, but I say we had the biggest heart, man. The guys on my team, they're not quitters. You know, we're going out there fighting. We didn't have no height on our team this year. The tallest guy on our team, I think he might have been like maybe 6'4". So, but God's determination, and we ended up having a losing record overall, 11-13. But the silver lining in that, we won 9 more games than what they did the year before. And that's how we got to take away from it, just little individual things. And for me to be coaching them now and affecting their lives, I like that. Affecting their lives for the positive.
Yeah.
I like that.
That sounds like a very rewarding experience. Now, you also played for some legendary coaches, man. The legendary Dean Smith of North Carolina. You know, Larry Brown. You won a championship with Larry Brown, also a former Tar Heel. Did you take anything from them as you kind of applied it to Jordan High?
Yes, I did. And I think it was more of that family atmosphere. When I was in high school, we did it. My coach had the layout of, okay, we're going to do everything together. At times when we go to different tournaments or throughout the summer, we're going to eat together. We're going to play year round, all of us on the same team. Yeah, you can play for your neighborhood, summer league team or this and that, but we're all going to play together in certain summer leagues. So that helped us grow and add on. And then with just the overall aspect of the view of the game, my high school coach to me is one of the best ever. And then playing for the legendary Dean Smith, Dino, his basketball mentality, this the godfather of the four corners. Just his insight and the way that he worked just made it different. And not in a bad way. It just made it different. Like Coach Smith, the biggest thing, I guess, for me that I tried to wrap my fingers around is how you have a team full of McDonald's All-Americans and you keep everybody in check.
Keep them together, yeah.
Yeah, keep the egos.
You know what I mean?
The egos.
Yeah.
It's like everybody, and I played with a lot of good players at Carolina for them 2 years, but it was no egos. All the egos was checked at the door. And then playing for Larry Brown, coming from that Carolina background, that Coach Smith background, playing for him, it was easy. It was easy and hard in the same breath. I say it was easy for basketball wise because, okay, a lot of his plays I already knew. And, you know, the whole secondary offense, that secondary fast break, it was something that we always did at Carolina. And sitting here and watching him, and he's like a mad scientist, bro. Larry Brown is a mad scientist. All he do is eat, sleep, breathe, and shit basketball. All right? That's all Larry Brown do.
He should have worked when he came with the Knicks.
Yeah, wish it would have worked out here.
He should have worked when he got. Maybe he should have been here when he was here and made a difference.
I think if he would have been here a little bit longer, you know, of course, like the way that it is up there right now in New York, and it's been like that for some years. Man. I need to win now.
Yeah, no patience.
We already had our time in the doghouse. You know, we was bullshitting for years and this and that. We weren't a good team. Let's get back to these 70s and how they won them championships. I need to win now.
Yeah.
And that was that mentality. So, but I think if LB, if he would have been able to stay and, you know, finagle how he do things, they would probably have a championship.
He said the same thing. I was watching some interview. He was saying the same thing.
Yeah, just recently, right?
I think so,
time,
You felt like
you can't expect the team to go from cellar dwellers to the league champs in a year or two. It's not going to happen. I don't care what sports you in. It ain't going to happen, yo.
Yeah. Need that patience, Knicks fans. You hear that, Knicks fans in the chat? We got to be patient, man.
Definitely got to be patient. And speaking of coaching, too, I know Mitchell Robinson, who kind of gives you he gave you a lot of praise.
Shout out money, Mitch.
Yeah. He had like a big game. He shouted you out. He said you showed him some things. You try to push him to be a little more vocal and things like that. So I guess my question to you is, have you ever thought about coaching in the NBA? I know the Knicks need a big man coach. You know, Mitch has been shooting jumpers. Maybe you can give him some confidence to let him fly.
That turnaround step back.
Yeah. Give him that turnaround
joint.
and feel. You know?
No, I wouldn't mind it. But it just has to be the right situation, you know, just like everything else. You know, I don't want to go and leave the job that I have now with helping and trying to shape and mold these young kids' future to go to kids who are out here getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars who could care less about anything else. Like, long as I'm getting paid, you know, I don't care if I don't play. If I don't get these minutes, I might practice here and there, but I'm getting paid. I can live this life. You know, for me, it's like I'm playing from the heart. And even though I know what goes on now happened back then with me as far as guys and why they're in the NBA, you got some guys in the NBA to win championships. You got some guys in the NBA for the money and to help them with their family situations. You got some guys in the NBA who just want to kick it and take all of the, you know, the pros that come with that as far as the jewelry, the cars, you know, clubbing it and buying bottles. You never know what they in it for.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I want to play and I want to coach guys who are in it to win chips.
Makes sense. Well, what do you think about Tom Thibodeau? You know, you played under him he was an assistant coach for that Celtics team that you were on. His name has been very hot and linked to the Knicks. What do you think about Tom Thibodeau coaching in a rebuilding type of situation?
Well, first they're gonna have to get good mics because all right.
Yo, get cough drops on deck for sure.
He's gonna be yelling at Kev all day.
Halls all day in the hallway.
I had the pleasure of playing for Tibbs when he was part of that Boston coaching staff when we went to the finals in 2010. His defensive scheme is something that you definitely have to buy into. You know, if you buy into it, it works. If you have any type of skepticism, it's not going to work. You know, because then you're going to question, well, why you got to do this, or why do I have to be here when my man is? No, it's one question. So I think he's a good defensive mind. But the question is, if Tom Thibodeau was a coach in New York, would they give him time? And see, that goes back to what I said a second ago about New York fans. Like, look, I'm tired of waiting. I've been waiting.
Yeah.
You know, I was salivating at the glands when we made it. to the finals with, Pat Ewing and that Latrell Sprewell squad. In March 10th, I'm salivating at the glands then. But it's been a while. It's been a drought since. Will they have the time and patience to be able to believe in this coach that they hiring? Because it's not going to happen overnight, bro, at all. It's not going to happen overnight. So it all comes on, will you have that time and patience? We all believe in them. Everybody in New York who's a Knicks fan, what they say every year, beginning of the season, we gonna win it this year.
Hey, we delusional. See, we delusional, man. It's been a while.
Yeah. But it's that love of die hard, bro.
That's it, man.
It's like a die hard fan, and those are the fans that you love. That's why even with some losing seasons or them not making the playoffs, they still selling out.
Still here.
Yeah,
Still selling out.
Absolutely.
So, you got to look at it from both sides of that coin.
Absolutely, man. Couple more questions for you, Sheed. We definitely appreciate you taking the time out. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Throw a ball, don't lie in the chat to salute Rasheed Wallace. In here dropping gems on us, JLs. Sheeta, someone had called my show earlier this week and we were talking about Tibbs and the coaching candidates. And one of the names, somebody you're very familiar with, Jerry Stackhouse, man. What do you think about Stackhouse as a potential candidate? He's done fairly well with the Raptors G League squad. He's down at Vanderbilt now doing his thing. What do you make of Jerry kind of progressing through the ranks of coaching?
I think that would be great for Stack. It would be great. Here it is again. You're in the biggest media hub in the world, so that itself would make you want to prep and step on the stage. So I think Stack could do a good job, but there again, as we all just mentioned, how much patience do the front office have? How much patience do the city have? That's what it comes down to. They can, real talk, they can go out there and even though they already did it and he didn't want to be part of it, Phil Jackson. Like when I think when New York got Phil Jackson, they were like, it's time. Here we go. It's time.
Yeah.
Coming off of what he did. In LA and Chicago, but it didn't work like that. You know what I mean?
I definitely think we were blind to it. Even though he didn't have that experience as a president, I think we were, naive to kind of think that magic could be recreated. But, for a lot of reasons, definitely didn't work out.
Naive a lot of times, it seems.
but it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen, hopefully, while I'm alive. All right, so. All right, so I need to speak to something. I need to speak to the New York culture. So in New York, we have this culture, right, where we like to rock fresh Air Force Ones and Timbs. But you, sir, I heard you playing Air Force Ones.
Legendary JLs.
Yeah, and practicing Timbs. Can you tell me like the rationale, the thought process?
Well,
what are Air Force Ones comfortable to playing? I mean, they must have been for you.
Oh yeah, no doubt they were. Now, granted, Air Force Ones ain't got no type of foot sole support.
Nothing.
So that's why. But if you ask 99% of the guys who play professional sports, mainly basketball, you got orthotics. So I have a foot insole that was molded to my foot. So once I slipped it in that air, tie that thing up, I'm good.
Good money.
So to me, Air Force Ones was a true high top shoe. You know what I'm saying? Protect your ankle. You got to protect your money makers.
Yeah, true.
Protecting my ankles, protect your knees, protect your back. To me, those are the biggest three things that causes downfall in NBA guys' career. So you got to protect your money makers. And for me, growing up with the Air Force Ones, the A1s, and strap on the back, I wanted to be like my older brothers when I first got a pair. I was 14 years old when I first got my pair of Air Force Ones, red and white Jones with the red swoosh. Couldn't tell me nothing, man. Couldn't tell me nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, But as I grew up and got more into basketball, that's all I was wearing was high top shoes. I had a pair of David Robinson Nikes. Remember the air pump joints?
Yeah.
I had a pair of them, and they were a high shoe that protect your ankles.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my main thing. I got to protect my money makers. You know, you only can do but so much with your knees. I only could put so many ace bandages on or knee sleeves on or whatever. But for my feet, I got to protect my feet. And so them Air Ones, I still, matter of fact, hold up, let me do this for you.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I see in his high school coaching, JL, you got She with the all white joints on the bench with the crispy whites. Oh,
Crispy
those are
white.
hard.
And you got to throw them away right afterwards.
Those are hard, man. Those are hard.
Oh, yeah.
These joints right here, the last game I played in these was Game 5 when we won.
Hold them up a little bit. Hold them up a little bit more. Wow.
I have not put this shoe on since Game 5.
Wow. That's when you had to go off on Medvedenko.
Yeah, classic A1. You know, I always got to have them on set. You know what I mean? That's just how it is.
Yeah, that's what's up. So that in that case, then practicing in Tim's was nothing for you then.
Yeah, that's like
well, the reason why sometimes I would practice in Tim's, no matter in high, well, I only could do it in high school or professional, was because I might have been coming back off an ankle injury. And to me, Timberlands help with your ankles, like the 3/4. You tie them 3/4 boys up
fresh
tight,
butters.
and it helps you with the whole classic heel toe. And I know it did for me. So like sometimes, okay, I feel like, damn, if I could play in these heavy ass Timbs,
your calves would be
which
crazy.
is heavier than A1s. If I could play in these heavy ass Timbs with this bad ankle, then all right, I could play. I'm good. So sometimes, I would. I mean, it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
But
okay,
I would practice in Timberlands here and there.
Yeah,
it was just for that ankle support.
Okay.
JL, I'm inspired, man. I might come out of retirement in some fresh butters as soon as this social distancing is over. I'm going to LA Fitness, boy. New idea. My guy She put me on. I'm about to go off.
Cushion and wrap. Yeah, I'll leave that to you. I'll have you chase me around with my light sneakers.
For real, man. For real. She just closing this thing out, man. You know, how do you want to be remembered by the fans? For the younger kids that never seen you play, what do you want, Rasheed Wallace's legacy to be in the game?
For me, don't mistake the passion with the bad attitude that they say. As far as with me, with my technicals and this and that, it's just the passion of the game. Now, I will say some of my technicals, yes, I did deserve. I was kind of over extra with the referees, no matter cussing at them or, certain gestures. But that was early in my career. And later in my career, it came to the point where when I knew they was cheating and all this other shit, and I'm calling it out, that's when I knew, like, okay, you seeing it, you calling it out for what it's for. And this is one of the things that you're going to be remembered by, because that's always going to be a scandal in professional sports. The same way you had the great baseball scandal in the early 1900s with the White Sox.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're always going to have that scandal in this sport. And I'm always going to be tied to it because I was telling people beforehand that they out here cheating and this and that. And everybody looking at Rasheed Wallace like he crazy. Oh, you crazy. You anti this, okay. You're right. And
came out to light.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I would say more, I would just want to be known for more of my passion, my love of this game.
That's what's up,
this game of basketball that we play from day one. What your daddy do with you? Bought you that Nerf hoop, hung that coat hanger, folded it up, hung that coat hanger on that door.
The joint on the back of the door in your bedroom, man.
Yeah, man.
And what you do? Get that aluminum foil
first, yeah.
You know
I did it too. We all did that, man.
You had the foam joint, you start getting eat out, your foam joint.
Yes, sir.
Garbage can in the driveway.
Yeah,
the milk crate on a light pole, all the little things that it takes to do this game and to love this game. That's what I want to be known for. or I should say remember for, excuse me.
That's what's up, man.
Salute.
Well, we definitely appreciate the time, man. You dropped a ton of jewels on us.
No doubt.
Appreciate the time, OG. Everybody in the chat, throw a ball, don't lie in the chat to salute She one last time. And let's get technical. So appropriately named, Jail. So let's get technical podcast. Rasheed Wallace, Bonzi Wells. It's a dope show. I definitely been watching them. Shout out my guy Gerald Brown as well, man. And she definitely be safe in this time, man. You and your family.
Oh yeah, no doubt. You too. You know, I hope each one of y'all family members is safe too. I already lost an aunt with this battle. A couple of my homies is sick, so appreciate that. So man, this is real. I would definitely have to say this COVID thing is not a hoax, bro.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not a hoax. It's definitely real. And you know, I've lost, as I said, an aunt, and some of my homies are sick. So make sure y'all be safe out there, man. You know, stay home. Look at this. Look at this staying home quarantine as a positive thing. Now you're spending more time with your kids, spending more time with your wife or your girlfriend or your husband, brothers, whoever, however it goes, who's with you in your home. Yo, you spending more time, it's family time. The Most High, hey, he does things for a reason. Mm-hmm. You can't question why the Most High does things. And I guess this is, if you look at it, this is his way of telling the world, hey, y'all better get back family united.
Hit that reset button.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure all y'all cats stay at home. So get back to loving your family. Get back to family-orientated things.
True story, man. It's a message I share on this channel a lot, man. Rasheed Wallace, ladies and gentlemen, 3 to the dome. Ball don't lie. Both teams play hard. Thanks again, man. Thanks again, brother.
All day, man. Anytime, man. You know, glad that y'all had me aboard. I love talking to them Knicks fans, and hey. It's gonna happen. Just be patient.
Yo, I appreciate you for publicly saying that you know people are gonna come to the Knicks and it's not always all negative from everybody else.
Yeah, that's real.
Thank you for saying that and pointing out, you know, we're doling here. People will still come to the Knicks. We just gotta do the right thing and put a good thing together. Thank you for saying that.
True story, man.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Appreciate you, Sheed.
No doubt, man. Thanks for having me, man. Make sure all y'all tune into Let's Get Technical with myself and Bonzi Wells and Gerald Brown. Please, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, mods, put that link if you can find
all the mods, throw the link to the Let's Get Technical podcast, their Twitter, Instagram, and their YouTube channel as well, man. Yes, sir. All right, Sheed, take it easy, brother. Rasheed Wallace, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey. Jay Ellis.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's another classic, Jay Ellis. Another classic, man. Another classic. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys.
Thumbs up button for your boys.
Rasheed Wallace was in here dropping jewels, man.
Oh, man.
Another good one, bro. Another good one. Let me get you up in here. Hang on one second, Jay Ellis. We're going to start the phones up. Let the people chime in on this one. Another gem, another Knicks Fan TV, Nick of Time Show production. You know what I'm saying, Jay Ellis? Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. You know what time it is, man.
We know. You know what it is, man?
Yes, sir.
Live.
So what you think, man? Give me some of your takeaways from tonight's interview.
Dope. He's I don't know. He's really, really, really down to earth, man.
Yeah.
I think I've been saying that for everybody who's interviewed with us, with the exception of one person, which I'll get to. But yeah, really down to earth. Shoot, I'm trying to. My mind is flooded. Get back to me, CB. Get back to me.
All right, hold up, man. Well, you know what? How about the fact that he was a Knicks fan, man?
That was a good yes.
He was a Knicks fan.
And he patterned his game against after Patrick.
Patterned it up against with number 33, Patrick Ewing, man.
When you think about that, it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, come on, man. That was one of my favorite players, bro. Favorite non-Knicks in the past, Penny, Sheed, 100%. 100%, bro.
I like small guys and shooters and stuff. So I was like,
his game. I was
KJ and.
The thing about Sheed was his game was so fluid, man. His game was 6'10". He could hit it from all three levels. His post-up game was filthy, mid-range. Then he started hitting the three much more efficiently later on in his career. All in Air Force Ones.
Yeah, man. It's crazy because he only played 20-something games with the Knicks, and I really felt like the more I was watching him that year with the 54-win team, the more I realized, like, yo, this guy is kind of the missing piece because it was just like he just stretched the floor out for everybody. He just made it difficult for every defense. And I really wish he was remotely healthy that year because I feel like I love Camby. I love Kenyon Martin. My guy Kirk Thomas. They were warriors. But like that stretch five that can give you defense,
I'm telling you, that was the Hibbert equalizer. It wasn't bum ass Bargnani, bro. It was a healthy Sheed would have turned the tables on that series. And we had Miami in the bag, man. I went to that game last night, JL. I mean that night, opening night, 2012, and we ran them out the gym. I think we beat them 3 out of 4 times that season. We just had the number, man, and the vets, Sheed and all the vets. They definitely, carried this team, or they gave this team a different dynamic, man. It wasn't just about, like she was saying, just talking to the young boys and explaining and showing them things that he saw, as a player and his growth, imparting his growth on that team. So,
especially back in the day too, I feel like the Miami didn't really have the big men to keep up with us. So, like the fact that we had them in droves, we was able to just kind of take advantage of that on every level. It just worked out. And then we had Melo, of course.
And then we had Melo. You had a MVP season from Carmelo Anthony, who played at the 4, his best position. And man, that was that. Man. Yo, I told when she went to Detroit, man, I told my homies did not believe me, bro. I was like, bro, that is it. Forget all that Lakers super team stuff. I was like, they're gonna have a hard time finding that chemistry. Rasheed Wallace was that missing piece for that Lakers team, and
my cousin. I think my cousin was on that too because my cousin was a huge Rasheed Wallace fan when he was in Portland.
Yep. That team was just perfectly balanced. You had Chauncey with the big shot. Everybody to a man could play defense. Chauncey was a floor general, could knock down that 3. You had Rip running off the screens, mid-range game.
Mid-range Reggie.
Yeah, you had Tayshaun. You had even the bench was nice. I believe they had like Lindsey Hunter. I think they had Eldon Campbell in there. Their bench was nice as well, man. They had Delfino. I think Delfino was on that championship team. Delfino was good for a 3-pointer or 2.
And they had Ben Wallace.
The next defensive player of the year.
Next coming to Dennis Rodman over there.
Defensive player of the year.
And he was built like a house.
Yeah, yo. Speaking of which,
anybody was gonna fight Ron Artest, it would be Ben
that
Wallace.
Was the matchup.
That was the matchup.
Like she said, you wanted to see that hockey matchup. Ben Wallace versus the true warrior Ron Artest.
That was the one to see.
That would have been a bloodbath, Jails. That would have been a bloodbath.
That would have been a bloodbath. Oh my gosh.
You know what? When I was watching that Malice at the Palace, bro. First off, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. The most memorable thing was number 1, Ron Artest jumping into the stands. Number 2, Steven Jackson threw a haymaker on one of them dudes in the stands. So the two of them are tussling. And then, it turned into a melee to like a Hollywood production because the cameraman on the court is now following all the action. After that, they started to, in most sports, when bad things happen, they start to show the crowd or pan away. This game, this was ESPN, I believe. They were showing everything. So I remember when Jermaine O'Neal caught the dude on the court?
Yeah.
When he hit him with like the sliding like M. Bison joint.
Yeah, man. It was like people jumping up in the air and punching people. And I was like, what is happening now, man?
Absolutely.
It was
pandemonium.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even see when it happened. My boy called me and was like, yo, are you watching ESPN? I was like, I'm traveling. He's like, I was get home, live, watch ESPN. I was like, yo, what?
I was watching live, bro. That was crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. We're going to hear from Ron from Baltimore in a second. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let's check in on our chats. I haven't checked in on the people in a minute. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Got a ton of super chats in here, Jails.
Yeah. Shout out.
A ton, yo. I'm gonna just name the people. Just shout out to everyone who sent us a super chat. El Capitan, Really Real, Robert Parrish, Will from LI, Ty Morris, my guy Ty, Dre Holiday, thank you, Michael Parker, much appreciated. Stephen Weeks, Jack, Chris C, Payback Carter, thank you. Cashmore 87, and Samir is here. Go ahead and read yours, JLs.
Yeah. Also shout out to Craig Williams, And also shout out to Mr. Durante for the super chat. Shout out to you guys, man.
Absolutely, man. All right, let's hear it from Ron. Let's get Ron in here, get his thoughts on the interview. Ron, how you feeling, man?
Hey, man, that was a great interview.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
I needed that. Appreciate
it, man.
I remember when Mike Woodson put him in the game at the end of the game, and he's like, "You want to play?"
Yeah.
And then he made like 2 or 3 threes in a row.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Chip.
I remember that. I'll leave you guys with this. I promised you guys I posted the Knicks Heat.
Yes,
Game
and
6.
Yep, go ahead, because we're gonna have Charlie Ward on this Thursday. We're gonna be talking about that series, man. So thanks for reminding me. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I posted it. CP and JL is for YouTube on YouTube. So Knicks Heat Game 6 full game, and I'll this is all I want. I'll call you guys in a few weeks after you have a chance to watch it, and we'll break it down.
All right, no doubt, man. Yeah, like I said, we're going to have Charlie Ward on this next Thursday, a week from today. Today's Thursday, right? A week from today, we're going to have Charlie Ward on. So we're going to go through that series and talk through that one as well, man. So appreciate the reminder, Ron. Definitely appreciate it, bro.
All right, man. Later.
Yes, sir. Take it easy, man. Yes, sir, JLs. Charlie Ward, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
We got 2 guests. JL.
We got 2 guests next week. I was wondering. I was like, are you trying to hold the other one?
We might as well let the people know.
Okay.
We're going to talk Knicks and Kicks with Langston Galloway, man. This Tuesday night, Langston Galloway is coming through. Detroit Pistons guard, former Knick. Langston Galloway is coming through on Tuesday. And then Charlie Ward Thursday, Jails.
Yeah, man.
Charlie Ward Thursday, man. They want to come talk to the people.
Stream.
You know? The quarantine stream, they want to come talk to the people, and so we just got to offer up our platform. You know what I'm saying?
Boom.
That's just it, man. That's just it. So, salute to Charlie Ward, salute to Langston Galloway. Definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, salute O Richardson for a super chat as well. Shout out to you,
salute to O Dog as well, man. Salute to O Dog. Yeah, man, that was a great interview. I'll read some of the comments. Cashmore87 says, this show goes from strength to strength. Great work, guys. UK fans showing love. So our UK people. Cheers to everybody in the UK supporting us, man. All over the world, wherever you guys at, man. We definitely appreciate you guys. Let's see. Another chat from Michael Parker. Says, salute. Just a basic salute, man. You know, Michael Parker. He's doing well, too, JL. So I emailed him to check up on him. Make sure everything is going all right in these times. So Michael Parker.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Mike. Mike hit me up actually. Shout out to Mike, man. Always checks up on your boy. Much love to you, Mike.
Absolutely. El Capitan, Baldo, not lie, respect. We got Really Real said, keep it up. Robert Paris, orange and blue for Sheed. NY was highly desirable. And how about the fact that he did the rumors were true. He wanted to be a Knick in 04.
Yeah. He wanted to come in 04.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like,
listen, Isaiah was trying to do what he could,
because that's when we started going down, right? Because
so what happened in 04?
Houston was resigned for the 100.
Yeah, Ewing was gone. We signed Houston. We traded Spree for Van Horn.
Yeah, that was
traded Spree for Van Horn. Remember, Spree and Dolan had fell out, so we traded Spree for Van Horn. Before the deadline, we make the Marbury trade. We trade Charlie Ward, a bunch of assets, Howard Isley. We get back Marbury, Penny Hardaway. And so we did that deal. Then he was trying to get Sheed. He was also after, remember when Isaiah was just hot after Eric Dampier? Remember that, bro?
Eric Dampier. I vaguely remember that.
Eric Dampier, he was playing for the Heat. He played for Golden State. He played for Dallas. But he had like one good playoff series. And you know Isaiah gets hot for that. Yeah, Isaiah's good for that. So he was ready to give him a Jerome James deal that he couldn't refuse. Eric Dampier was that hot candidate. But anyway, he wanted Sheed. They couldn't make it work. They needed to involve a 3-team deal, a third team to get the deal done. So they ended up trading Van Horn mid-season and getting Najee Muhammad and Tim Thomas, Mr. Fugazi.
Tim the two-man, as my friend calls him. Tim the two-man Thomas.
So, you know, you could have had a prime Sheed or you get Najee Muhammad And a Tim Thomas who might give you 30 one night, give you 5 the next, you know.
Maybe prime sheet with Marbury. That might have been yo.
Just a couple, we were this close, Sales. This close.
Yeah.
You know?
Prime sheet with Larry Brown could have.
Yeah. Eric Dampier. Isaiah was heavily invested in getting Eric Dampier, man. They wanted him for the mid-level, I think, or maybe even like a larger deal. And thank God that didn't work out because he came back to life.
Shout out to whoever just bought a Ninja P shirt. Shout out to you.
Okay, salute. We selling merch right now as we live. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Will from LI says that 2012-13 will always hold a special place in my heart. Thanks for your part in that, Rasheed Wallace. Salute to Will. Ty Moore says JL's on fire tonight with the salient questions, making interviews great.
With
Great
the what
job.
questions?
Salient questions.
Okay.
Means it was good. Very good and on point.
All right.
Yeah. That's what it means,
Like it.
man. So good stuff. Another terrific interview. Definitely want to thank Rasheed Wallace. Let's Get Technical podcast. Make sure you check that podcast out, man. It's very good. I listened to the one so far with Damon Stoudemire they had on, so they were going back on the Portland days. Sometimes they don't even have guests, but the Steven Jackson episode was good. They had Nate Burleson on from the NFL. It's a very good show, man. Shout out my guy Gerald Brown, who was also on this show as well. He's a co-host on that show. And so that's their podcast. Let's Get Technical. So
definitely check that out. Right?
Yeah, JLs, man, good show. Let's go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah, man. Salute.
How about I'm just going back to these takeaways. The Air Force Ones and it made sense.
Ankle
Obviously,
support, man.
Take your ankle support, but Tim's.
But his foot was broken, so I'm like, how much support would you get? Because you didn't have, you had the ankle support, but then you didn't have soles on your feet.
That's just mileage, man. That's just mileage, man. I knew you had to have some sort of orthotics to be playing in Air Force Ones, bro. You can't just pop them out the box and just be playing.
Yeah, you're right. He did say he had the cushion.
Yeah, you had to have some custom molding to be able to get those to even be remotely comfortable. But that was definitely dope. Thought Tibbs could work if the players buy in. If the players buy into his defensive schemes, thought Tibbs could work. You know? I thought it was great to see him, reflecting on how he wants to impact his high school team. To really mold them as men and the difference in those levels in terms of the passion, the hunger of the game, as opposed to, the NBA and he talked about the business side of things, the lesson he learned that this was a business. And that even goes back to like what the X-Men was talking about, man. You got to take care of your family, man, because it's an ugly business man, at the end of the day.
Yeah, that was honorable. I get it too. I get it. Selfishly, I want him to say yes. I would coach the Knicks players.
Yes, Knicks fans. I will coach Mitchell Robinson.
Yes, I will be a Mitchell Robinson coach
and teach him all my moves.
Exactly.
That's it.
Turn around, step backs. Yes. But you gotta honor a guy who just cares about his community.
True story.
As you clearly see, does.
True story. That's just an admirable feat, man.
Yeah,
definitely. Had some good praise for Ninja P. Yeah, holds Ninja P in high regard as well, so that was cool. And he just, the overall theme in terms of where we're going is patience, man. And obviously, we can all agree with that, but they got to make the prudent moves, man, and stick to a game plan, and just gotta hope that Leon Rose doesn't hit that panic button and try to do anything too crazy with the assets,
I agree, man. I agree. I definitely agree. I hope Mike Miller stays here as well, man. I hope Mike Miller stays here as well. Even though I didn't like his rotation so much, I do feel like offensively he had something kind of at least, a system going in.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Absolutely. You know what? Let me get one more call in here. Let's hear it from Jay Boogie, JLs, because he's been very much a big supporter of our show. Jay Boogie, how you feeling, man?
That's my old nickname too.
We going to overtime, man. Let's get Jay Boogie in here. Jay Boogie, what's going on, bro?
What's good with the team? How y'all doing? Everybody good and healthy, man? That's good. God bless you all, and hope everybody's doing well with their families.
Thanks, bro. Hope you're doing the same, man.
Salute, man.
Hey, just to let you know, Rasheed is a personal friend of my first cousin down here in NC.
Okay.
So I don't been around him, before. So let me let you know again, like y'all say, he sound like he's down to earth. He really is on earth ground. The way he talk about his kids at the high school, he the type guy that'll turn down $1 million contract to be assistant coach because he want to stay with them kids and give them, lights of their future. He is like that, you know what I'm saying? And real quick, shout out to my cousin G's barbershop. But when he was talking about Carolina, how everybody was cool and tight, my man Donald Williams was the MVP the year before when they beat Michigan. You know what I'm saying? He stayed another year. He gave Rasheed and Stackhouse and them the key. So when he was talking about how tight they was at Carolina, you know what I'm saying? They was really, really tight like that. But Rasheed was a 3-level ball player.
Oh, yeah.
He was a basketball player, a baller, and a killer at the same time, man.
Yes, sir.
And you had to love and respect this passion, man. But keep doing what y'all doing. I appreciate what y'all doing for the orange and blue. Ain't nobody doing it like y'all. No other stations, man.
Appreciate it, Jay.
That's why we support y'all to the fullest.
Appreciate it, Jay. Appreciate it, man. That's why we went into overtime, Jay. Else I knew it was going to be a good call. Jay Boogie comes in and put some context around things, has a personal story. That's what's up, man. That's what OGs do, man. We definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that.
What was the holes in Rasheed's game, yo?
Man.
What was the hole?
That's a good question.
Because usually you're like, oh, I like this guy, but...
Yeah. I mean, to me, when I was going back and doing my research on older articles and interviews, they had looked at the Portland series, the Lakers series, the Game 7 series against the Lakers, and talked about, because they had missed something like 15 shots in a row.
Right.
And the knock on Sheed at that time was, did he really want to be the guy? The closer, because part of the problem with that Portland team had was they didn't know who
too unselfish. Yeah.
Right. So the knock on him was that he was too unselfish at times, and so if you want to think of a weakness, maybe that's it. But as Jay Boogie said, this was a 3-level score. Jay, man, absolute beast, absolute beast, man. But yeah, based on my research, that's kind of what. Some of the critics had said. They even had Steve Kerr. I read one interview, and Steve Kerr was quoted, because Steve Kerr played with him for about a year, I think, and Steve Kerr was saying, he didn't really relish being the guy like a Tim Duncan or Kobe, how they took on, that burden. So, maybe he could have been more assertive in closing games for the team.
That makes sense. Like, be the guy, call for the ball more, because I am the best player of the ball. Yeah, but he's naturally just a humble guy. Yeah, even with all the skills. So
and someone else in the chat said the text obviously didn't do no good, because as Tim Donaghy said in his book, The Disgraced Referee That Was Betting on the Game, was that they had it out for Sheed. They game planned for him because they felt like they didn't really want to deal with him, and so obviously they're gonna have a quick trigger with him.
Yeah, and he didn't come in. He didn't come in the league as a guy who was like angry and getting texts. He kind of developed over time.
He only had one technical in high school, and that was for hitting the stanchion, because his high school coach, the same Bill Ellaby that he talked about, would say that, do what you do, but if you miss a dunk when you could have had an easy layup, I'm going to take you right out the game. And it happened to Sheed. And that was the first technical that he picked up, because he missed a dunk. He punches the stanchion, and he caught a technical for it.
Damn.
No. Yeah. He caught a technical for it because he knew he was about to sit out the rest of the game. That was his one high school technical. So, yeah, obviously, it didn't do him any good when you establish that type of reputation and you got the referee's mercy. So, I'm sure that didn't help his teams too much either. But you know what, bro? And last story, we were supposed to end this show like 15 minutes ago, but this interview is good. I'm just, things are just coming as you kind of, calm it down. Things kind of come back to you. And he had mentioned the Tim Donaghy thing at the end, and he almost beat up Tim Donaghy, bro. I don't know if you remember that. In the 2000-2001 season, there was an incident where she picked up he threw the ball at a ref, kind of like to give it to him, but Tim Donaghy took it the wrong way and felt like he was throwing it at the ref.
I saw somebody in chat said ask him about that.
Tease up Sheed, After the game, he meets Tim Donaghy in the parking lot, and they almost throw hands. League ends up suspending him for 7 games. Yeah. And then, what do you know? Tim Donaghy gets bagged for betting on games.
Look at that.
That's
Look at
a
that.
victory, man.
Exactly. So
that's a victory.
So it's funny because sometimes people react crazy, and people wonder why you're acting so crazy, and they don't really know the underlying story. And Rasheed will tell you, so yo, I act crazy when I know they're cheating.
Yep. He knew there was some funny business going on.
Yeah. So he knew there was some funny business. So he's like, yo, meet me in the parking lot. We gonna go handle this.
He was about to
because
fold up
Tim
Donaghy, man.
Trying to get that come up.
Yeah, he was about to fold them up like some slacks, man. But again, he came out on top, man. NBA champion, all-star, multi-time all-star, and now he's following his passion and imparting his wisdom on the youth, man. So definitely full circle. And glad to see that, man. So anyway, JL, let's go ahead and get out of here, bro. Go ahead and sign out.
Yeah, salute to everyone. New episode dropped, KOT show. Shout out to my guy Fritz, man. He's working hard getting these episodes out. We're trying new formats. It's been like a journey figuring that out. A new episode is up of the Nick of Time show. Pretty good episode. Definitely check that out. It's not on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play yet, but I will put those up on those platforms as well as we try to figure out, how to move differently through his COVID stuff. Also, check the merch as well. We got some Knox merch, Ninja P merch as well. Thanks for whoever bought that. All types of merch at thenicktimeshow.com. And also, shout out to my guy Ken, man. Shout out to my guy Ken. You're holding on the vlogs. Dropped part 3 of the blueprint. No, he's not Hove, but he wrote 3 parts of the blueprints of rebuilding Knicks. So definitely check that out as well on the Nick of Time show. That's all. Back to you, CP.
Sir, another one in the books, JL's. Great job, man. And salute to everybody for watching once again. YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter. Everybody for watching and supporting us, man. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you again, Rasheed Wallace, for touching down on the show. Remember, upcoming shows. Tuesday night, Langston Galloway, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday, Charlie Ward, I think it's 7 o'clock. So be on the lookout for the notification. Hit the notification bell. I think Charlie Ward is going to be early at JL, so it's going to be about 7 o'clock. So make sure you guys keep it locked. Like I said, man, this is a grassroots movement. We need your support. All the super chats, much appreciated. Nick Central, Skrilla, I saw your super chat. Thank you for the donation. But you could also support us for free. Share these videos. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. And subscribe to the channels, Knicks Fan TV, Nick of Time Show. And man, like once again, all the regulars, thanks for tuning in. All the mods, thanks for helping out. Knicks Fan TV Dave, shout out Fro Magnum for throwing the highlight packages together.
Shout out, yeah, man.
John Talento, Pranav, all the regulars. Kent, appreciate it. Michael Park, appreciate it, man. We will see you guys sometime over the weekend just for a check-in. But if not, Langston Galloway, Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. We'll see you guys, man.